Right, so who is Amanda Silvera?
I'm still figuring that out. That's kind of why I had to do the album, was to figure out what was going on in my head. And it's kind of summing up the journey from like birth till now. For me, when I write a song, it's like after I listen back or like read it back, that's when I kind of figure out what's going on in my head. So I felt like it was time to really sit down and get it all out. But as far as who I am, I don't know. I'm 24. I have no idea who I am, what I believe in. Like, it changes. I'm constantly just, I go with the wind. I'm like a gypsy or something. When I find myself with nothing good to think about, you find a way to creep back to my head. And though I thought of you seemed to forget about the promises, the things you never said. I mean, I've had a bit of an identity crisis, like, since childhood. I'm mixed. I don't know if you can, no one can ever tell, but, so I was always kind of like, what am I? Like, and so I was trying to fit in with different groups, and each time I would become whatever I was surrounding myself, and that's just kind of become me. I'm like some kind of a chameleon. Why can't I get you off my mind? Why do the ones that hurt you like you'll never know make it so hard to let them go? I was a loner. I still am. As a musician, you spend a lot of time by yourself right now, like in this day and age, mainly on the computer. And so being social and like connecting with people, it's hard. It's different. That's why I'm a writer. My mom was a writer and my grandmother was a writer. And so that kind of came naturally. I started singing at like little gatherings, like we'd go to a park or something and people would be beatboxing. So I would kind of join in with my 2 cents, my kind of like harmonies in the back, or I would kind of do like the little like hook between like each freestyle. I used to like mimic sounds I heard on the radio, like electric guitar. Like, I nailed that. My mom supports me. She's a writer, so I mean, she understands that kind of addiction, and it's like I have no choice, So whether they support me or not, I kind of gotta do what I gotta do. You have to let yourself just flow. You can't be afraid of sounding like crap. A lot of the time when you're experimenting, you will. It's a little scary because, I guess for any artist, especially with their first album, this is when they can really say, like, hey, this is me. And I'm being really, really, really honest. We all have our story. We've all been through our trials and tribulations, and mine have been pretty intense, and I want to just get it out of my system. I want people that have been through similar situations to obviously find some kind of solace in knowing that they aren't the only ones, and to kind of vibe with that, and let them be mad while they listen, and let them be sad. I'm not trying to make them happy. Hopefully I'll have a couple songs that will lift their spirits, but for the most part, it's just kind of like, I want to feel with you. I want you to feel it with me. My parents are both mixed. My mom is half black, half white. My dad is Spanish, Portuguese, black and white, both born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica. So, like, I had a Jamaican accent when I was a little kid. I still, to this day, condensed milk. I still call it condensed milk. So, like, I went to the store and I was trying to make fudge, and I was like, yo, I'm looking for the condensed milk. And they're like, what? So as a kid in elementary school, saying things like that, people were like, why do you sound like that? You're white. I'm like, I'm Jamaican. They're like, no, you're not. But it was ignorance. I was even ignorant to the fact that Jamaica is such a melting pot. There are so many different flavors. And me being such a mashup of all these flavors, I didn't really know what to rep, instead of just repping that I am a mix of all of these different amazing, beautiful things. I feel like soul is kind of like a loose way of describing a part of us that makes us one, that makes me as a whole connect and become one, but it also makes me and you the same thing, me and you the same thing. And that is so important right now. We're all so disconnected. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's just so much hate. It's disgusting. And syncing is connecting. It's gonna be a perfect album to listen to on a rainy day kind of thing. In September will definitely be rainy. We're in Vancouver. Something very different. I have one song that kind of did all right called On My Mind, and it's It's R&B, and it's like old school R&B-ish, and I think a lot of people are expecting that kind of vibe for the album. Hopefully they're not disappointed, because it's gonna be nothing like that, really. Yeah. I just want to surprise people. I don't even want to really tell them what to expect. I just hope they give it a chance and give it a listen.
I'm Johnny Alvarez, and I'm producing engineering Amanda's upcoming album, Sinking.
What did you describe your beats for the project?
I
don't even know.
Different?
Yeah, really different.
I don't
Everyone's
know.
like, who produced this? Every time I show them something, they're like, where did this come from? I'm like, it's Johnny. It's his mind. That's why it was so perfect. I was like, Johnny, we got to do a project. It's time to do a project. And, like, it's just perfect. It's so perfect. The beats that he comes up with and, like, throws at me, I'm like, whoa, this is, like, exactly what's going on inside of me. I started trying to make beats, and oh, God. I'm so glad I have Johnny. The ones that hurt you like you'll never know, make it so hard to let them go. My name is Amanda Silvera, and I communicate by singing. That's not pretty. My name is Amanda Silvera, and I communicate by. Shut up, Johnny.
I didn't say anything.